Breaking news, June 17, 2026, NorthFlow Finance AI just flagged 5 explosive TSX stock signals. Let's dive in and explore these potential market movers. We're starting off with a compelling stock signal on the TSX, and that's Torex Gold Resources, ticker symbol TXG. This stock has just triggered a golden cross with a volume surge, which is a pretty bullish signal. The price is currently sitting at $62.63. The golden cross is a technical indicator that suggests a potential trend reversal, and when you combine that with a volume surge of 125.6%, it's definitely something to pay attention to. The current price is $62.63, and the RSI is at 53.0, which puts it in neutral territory, neither overbought nor oversold. This suggests that there's still some room for momentum to build. The volume surge is also a great sign of investor conviction, as it shows that people are willing to put their money behind this stock. With the RSI in neutral territory, we could see some further upside momentum. This volume change is quite unusual, and it might signal some institutional interest in the stock. A surge of this magnitude can be a sign that big players are starting to take notice of Torex Gold Resources. Recent earnings reports have raised some questions about the company's financial health, with some investors expressing concerns about the quality of the earnings. This could be a factor to watch going forward, as it may impact the stock's outlook. Viewers should watch for further signs of momentum building, and key levels to watch will be the stock's ability to hold above $60. A break above $65 could be a sign of further upside to come. Now let's move on to our next pick. We're taking a closer look at SSRM.TO, a stock that's caught our attention with a powerful MA golden cross signal, accompanied by a significant volume surge. This signal suggests a potential shift in the stock's trend, and we're excited to dive deeper into the details. The current price of $44.79 is definitely worth exploring further. The MA golden cross signal is a strong indication of a bullish trend, and with the current RSI at 57.1, we're seeing a neutral territory reading that suggests there's still room for momentum to build. The volume surge of 79.5% is a clear sign of investor conviction, as more and more investors are jumping into the stock. This surge in volume tells us that there's a high level of interest in SSRM.TO, and it's not just a few investors driving the price up. The RSI reading also suggests that the stock is not overbought, which is a positive sign for those looking to get in on the action. This volume change is unusual activity, and it might signal that institutional investors are starting to take notice of SSRM.TO. A surge of this magnitude can be a sign of a larger trend, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Recent news has highlighted SSR Mining's continued upward momentum, with the stock surging again today on positive market sentiment. This news is likely connected to the stock's signal and outlook, as investors become more confident in the company's prospects. Viewers should watch for the stock to continue its upward trend, and key levels to watch will be any potential pullbacks or breakouts. A close above $45 could be a significant sign of strength. Now let's move on to our next pick. We're taking a closer look at Eldorado Gold, listed as ELD on the TSX, which has just triggered a very interesting signal, the moving average golden cross, accompanied by a significant volume surge. This is a technical indicator that catches our attention, and we're excited to dive deeper. The golden cross signal is particularly noteworthy here, as it suggests a potential shift in momentum, with the stock price now sitting at $48.12. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is at 56.9, which puts it firmly in neutral territory, indicating that the stock is not yet overbought or oversold. This neutral RSI reading, combined with the golden cross, suggests that momentum is building. The volume surge of plus 41% is also a key indicator of investor conviction, as it shows that traders are actively engaging with the stock. This level of volume is noteworthy, and it tells us that investors are taking notice of Eldorado Gold. A volume change of this magnitude is unusual and can signal that institutional investors are starting to take a closer look at the stock. This increased activity could be a sign of growing interest from major players in the market. Recent developments, such as the startup of copper production at a key project, have likely contributed to this renewed interest in Eldorado Gold, as the company looks to expand its operations and potentially close the gap in its valuation. This news has likely played a role in the stock's recent signal and outlook. Viewers should watch for continued momentum and monitor key levels, such as the stock's moving averages, to see if this trend continues. The ability to hold above these levels will be crucial in determining the stock's next move. Now let's move on to our next pick. We're taking a closer look at Hemlo Mining, a stock that's caught our attention with a MACD bullish crossover, paired with a significant volume surge. This signal is particularly interesting, as it suggests a potential shift in momentum for the stock. With a current price of $6.72, investors are no doubt watching this stock closely. The MACD bullish crossover is a strong indication that the stock's momentum is turning positive, and with the Relative Strength Index, or RSI, sitting at 61, we're seeing a neutral reading that suggests there's still room for growth without being overbought. The volume surge of 75.7% is a key factor here, as it indicates a high level of investor conviction and enthusiasm for the stock. This surge in volume tells us that investors are taking notice of Hemlo Mining and are eager to get in on the action. The RSI reading also suggests that the stock has been gaining momentum but hasn't reached overbought territory just yet. This balance between momentum and valuation is what makes this stock so compelling. This volume change is unusual and may signal that institutional investors are starting to take notice of Hemlo Mining. A surge of this magnitude can be a sign of a larger trend, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. The fact that volume has increased so dramatically suggests that investors are becoming more confident in the stock's potential. Hemlo Mining's recent graduation to the Toronto Stock Exchange is a major milestone for the company, and it's likely that this news has contributed to the stock's recent surge in volume. This move is a significant vote of confidence in the company's prospects, and it could lead to increased visibility and investor interest. As we look ahead, investors should watch for continued momentum and a potential break above key resistance levels. A strong earnings report or other positive news could be the catalyst for further growth, so it's essential to stay up to date on the latest developments. Now let's move on to our next pick. We're taking a closer look at NIQ.V, a stock that's caught our attention with a MACD bullish crossover, accompanied by a significant volume surge. This signal suggests a potential shift in momentum, and we're excited to dive in and explore what it means for investors. With a current price of $2.19, let's break down the technical indicators at play. The MACD bullish crossover indicates a bullish trend, and when combined with a volume surge of 45.8%, it's a strong signal that investors are taking notice. The RSI is currently sitting at 42.3, which puts it in neutral territory, suggesting there's still room for momentum to build. This volume surge tells us that investors are becoming more convinced about the stock's potential, and it's worth paying attention to. The current price of $2.19 is an important level to watch, as a break above it could signal further upside. This volume change is unusual activity, and it might signal that institutional investors are starting to take notice of the stock. A volume surge of this magnitude can be a sign of growing interest, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Recent earnings calls from companies like Magna Mining have highlighted strong revenue growth, and this trend could have a positive impact on NIQ.V's outlook. The strong revenue growth seen in the industry could be a tailwind for NIQ.V, and we're watching to see if this momentum will carry over. Viewers should watch for a break above the current price level, as well as continued volume growth, to confirm the bullish trend. Key levels to watch will be the stock's ability to hold above $2.19, and whether the volume surge is sustained in the coming days. That wraps up our final pick for today. Don't forget to subscribe for daily TSX signals. Thanks for watching NorthFlow Finance. Subscribe for more, and remember, this is not financial advice. Consult a professional before making investment decisions.